Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are filming a book haul. I've only got 8, I say only. It's still a huge pile of 18 books. But I thought instead of letting it get to my usual 35-40 before I filmed one, I was going to film one and just talk a little bit in depth about more of the synopsis and things like that, because I really like watching hauls like that. So we have 18 books to show you today. The first 3 books that I have to show you are from Lauren Carter, who hosted Horathon last month, and I won one of the giveaway, or 2 of the giveaways I won. So I got 3 books from Lauren, so thank you so much. And I love Horathon. If you have not checked it out, you should. But the first book that I got was The Troop by Nick Cutter. This is a horror, and I'm not entirely sure. I just know that it's scouts and they go on a survival trip. 3 days of camping, hiking and survival lessons on Falstaff Island. And apparently then it takes a horrific turn. Now, from what I've heard, this is so graphic. I was watching Noelle Gallagher. She was reading this on her channel, and she reads a lot of horror, and she was saying how spooked she was, and someone has said something about worms. So now I'm like, worms? Please don't be worms. But I am very excited to get to this. The fear I feel to get to it is quite high. So I'm not sure how soon I will prepare myself for it, but I am really ready to dive into this. I've heard a lot of hype from the people who have read it. Not that a lot of people have, but from the people that have, I've heard a lot. It was Lauren who originally made me put this in my wish list as something I wanted to read, because she reads a lot of horror and she made it sound really, really good. So that is intriguing to me. The next book that I got from that Horathon giveaway is The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. Now, I've not read this, obviously, but I have not heard one bad thing about this book, and I physically don't think I've seen anyone give it lower than 5. So you can imagine my excitement to own this. Plus, this was a really expensive book for me. I think it was £17 on Amazon or something, 16 something, and I'm like, I could not bring myself to spend that much money on a hardback. So the fact Lauren did just made my heart so happy. So Lauren, thank you so unbelievably much. You're an angel, and I cannot wait to dive into this. I was meant to read it the other day in my 24-hour readathon vlog, and I didn't get to it, and I ended up switching out for the selection series books. But I am very, very excited to get to it, and I think that it'll probably be better not being in the 24-hour readathon, because I can savour it and take my time. Now, for those of you who don't know what it is about, he's a book by the book caseworker, and he lives in a tiny house with a devious cat. I love cats. He is summoned by upper management, and he has to travel to an orphanage on a distant island to determine whether 6 dangerous magical children are so dangerous that they are likely to bring about the end of days. I love this. So I knew it was about orphans and magic and all that good stuff. Like, who doesn't love magic? And the final book that I got from Horathon Prize was Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I was meant to read this last month for the Ace race, and I did not get to it at all, because I only had the ebook copy, and I'm really glad I held off now, because ooh, this is beautiful. Now, I read my first ever V.E. Schwab last month, which was The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, you know, me and everybody else on the planet who's read it now. And I really loved her writing style, and I don't know, I can't ever tell which one's a middle grade. I think this one's an adult, or no, her YA, because she's only written a YA apart from The Invisible Life. Which one's her middle grade series? A City of Ghosts as well. I want to read them. I want to read all of her stuff now. So hopefully this one will live up to be as good as Invisible Life. Thank you so much, Lauren, for all of those. The next one was a swap that I did with Lily, who swapped with me The Court of Miracles for Mexican Gothic, which we all know I didn't like. And this is the Waterstones edition, so it has got beautiful sprayed edges and a beautiful naked dust jacket, no, under the dust jacket naked book. It is stunning, even the spine is stunning. Oh. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, no idea what this book is about. It's just been something I've heard a lot of people speaking about, and therefore it's been something I've been wanting to read. I heard that it is a retelling of Les Mis. I watched the Les Mis film, fell asleep 20 minutes in, woke up 20 minutes from the end, was very confused, didn't like the 40 minutes that I did see, never decided to go back to it. So it's a little bit worrying to me, but it's like, in Paris in 1828, after their failed revolution, and then they were gathering into guilds of thieves, assassins and worse to make the court of miracles. And then I think we follow, oh no, what's that name? Eponine? Oh, and then gaining another sister, Cosette. Okay, so they literally are reusing the names, because Cosette is in Les Mis, isn't it? The beautiful reimagining of Les Mis tells the stories of your favourite characters and what might have happened if the French Revolution had not come to pass. Maybe I should watch Les Mis first. I'm not reading. Watch it. Let me know if I need to rewatch it to really appreciate this book. Just let me know. Or is it better for me not to like it? Because I've seen some mixed reviews. So maybe it would be better for me not to watch it and have an understanding. Just let me know before I do go in. Next I did a swap with Kira from Kira Can Read, and I gave her my Arc of Groan and she sent me The Deep by River Solomon. I did read some of this in my 24-hour readathon and I have finished it now. It is super, super short. It is about pregnant African slave women who were thrown overboard from the slave ships and dying in the waters, but out of them, their baby came out as basically a mermaid. And this story, I gave it a 3-star because I think that it is beautifully written. It is a lovely sapphic story, but it's very complex, very complicated. I was confused, and I love what they tried to do, and I think they did a great job of it, but I think that for me to appreciate what I read out of it, I would need to reread it. I cannot really tell you what it's about because, as I can imagine, it's so short that what I've told you is as much as I can tell you. Next we have a book from the lovely Celeste, and that is Before the Devil Breaks You by Libba Bray. I only own the first one, but that's because the second one is supposed to be coming to me, and I bought it in September and it is now November 12th and I'm still waiting, so that's ideal. But she bought me the 3rd book in this series. I'm not going to read what it's about because I have not even finished the 1st book yet, so I do not want to like spoil anything for myself. But can we just, these covers blow me away. Look how small the writing is though. This is when you're all commenting like, but that doesn't look small. It's small. I cannot believe it. And it's like over 550 pages. Crazy. I love it. I cannot wait to get more and stuck into this world once I finally receive my copy of Lair of Dreams. I just wish it would arrive now. It's been months. But I am obsessed. At the beginning of every book, it does have that picture with the like paragraph. Oh. Oh. Thank you so much, Celeste. This series is just, even if I don't like what's in it, these books are so beautiful. I'm keeping them anyway. I'm gonna get 6 copies. I don't even care. Thank you, Celeste. I then did a bunch more swaps online. Basically, I did a huge unhaul and then I wanted to do some swaps with them, so I did. And the first book I got was Renegades by Marissa Myers. And Marissa Meyer, not Myers. Why? I'm not sure, because I know that I'm not into sci-fi in any way, shape or form, and I imagine this is because it looks like it. Maybe I'm wrong. And I read Cinder by Marissa Meyer and really, really didn't like it, that I didn't continue with the series even though I owned the other book. So, not entirely sure what convinced me, but a momentary lapse in judgment equaled in me having this copy, and now I'm gonna read it and see what I think. And if I don't like it, then we all know Marissa Meyer isn't an author for me, and that's perfectly fine. Maybe I'll love it and we'll realise that I'm a fool who needs to go back and reread the Cinder series, maybe. I also got a copy of Catwoman in my swaps, which is by Sarah J. Maas. Now, I only swapped for it because there was nothing I wanted, but this girl was really desperate for my book, so I was like, you can have it, it's fine. But my complication is, I know this is a series and this is not the first book, it is the 3rd, I think. And they're all written by different authors like Marie Lu and someone else. And they sell the copies in Works for like £3 for all the books. I don't even know. But this one has purple spread edges too. Ooh. I also do not care about Catwoman in any way, shape or form. Anything DC doesn't bother me. Marvel, love it. DC is a no from me. What I want to know from you guys is, number one, is it worth it? That's what I really need to know. Second of all, do I have to read the 3 in the series, or can I just read this one because they're all about different people? Third of all, will it matter that I don't really care about Catwoman and don't know much about her anyway? That's my question to you guys if you've read this. But I did also get Nevermore, The Trials of Morrigan Claro, yeah, by Jessica Townsend. Everybody and their mother loves this book. I am excited. As I said earlier, I am on a middle grade hype right now. And this one I have another copy of over there from the library that I just have not picked up. And so I thought, well, for a swap, I may as well get my own copy, and then there's no pressure to read it anytime soon. But since getting it, I've had a lot of people tell me that I need to pick it up ASAP, so maybe I'll just go ahead and do that now. From what I've heard, it's very much like the series We Do Not Discuss by She Who Should Not Be Named. Yes. In terms of being magical and having a really beautiful world. So something about, she's destined to die on her 11th birthday, but as the clock strikes midnight, she's whisked away by a remarkable man called Jupiter North to the secret city of Nevermore, where she's invited to join the Wondrous Society. I love magic. I love the HP books that I no longer want to advertise. So now I feel like it's time to enter a new magical world with more characters that I'm gonna love. So very, very excited about this one. We then have another book which has actually become one of my favourite books of this year, and that is Kingdom of the Wicked by Kerri Maniscalco. This was bought for me by the lovely Jade from paperback to hardback, and I read it, I think, the day I got it. Yes, I tabbed it and I am obsessed. As you can see, that is a lot of tabs. Like, that isn't even funny how many tabs is in this book. Oh Lord. I went through 3 packets of tabs. It was painful. But this is very much Crescent City vibes, if you've read Crescent City by Sarah J Maas, but just smaller. Basically, there is 2 twins and one of them gets murdered, and so the other sister goes on a revenge mission to bring justice for her sister's death, and in that she meets a man named Wrath, who is one of the princes of the Kingdom of Wicked, and she works with him to find out who murdered her sister. And on the way, maybe they discover that their interests do not, in fact, align. This is the first book in a series, and it was perfection. It was a 5-star. There was everything you could ever want in this book. And I'm so ready for that next one. Like, there's been confirmed that there's going to be another one, but it doesn't say when, and it hurts. It hurts, guys. If you have not read this yet, please go ahead and do so. I don't think you'll regret it, especially if you do like Crescent City, because it really is very similar, and that's why Jade got it for me, because she said that when she read it, she thought it was the exact same as Crescent City, and we all know that's my favourite book, so... I was then sent a final copy to review, and that is Body Language by A.K. Turner. I haven't read this yet, but it is the week of Galliathon that I'm filming this, and I'm planning on reading this because it hasn't quite come out yet. It comes out on the 22nd of November, so I'm going to give this a read. This book is a thriller revolving around someone who's called a mortuary technician, that's the one, and she's always cutting up bodies for a living, you know, doing what a mortuary technician does, and then one time she finds a body that maybe is trying to tell her something, and that something happened to her that wasn't in fact an accident. Sounds very interesting to me. I love the cover, and I'm very excited to see if this is as good as it sounds. Another book that I'm in the middle of for Galliathon is These Vengeful Hearts by Catherine Lauren. Thank you very much to Harper for sending me a copy of this. Very, very excited. I'm exactly halfway through this book. It is following 2 sisters again and a revenge plot, same as Kingdom of the Wicked. So for this one, when something happens to this girl's sister to make her become paralysed from the bottom half down, and the sister believes it is down to the Red Courts, who are a secret society within the high school. Ember, our protagonist, has decided to try and get an invite into the Red Court and take them down from the inside as justice for what they did to her sister. Now, I love me a secret society, I love my school-based settings, I love revenge plots. I am halfway through and I'm really, really enjoying this story. It says high appeal for fans of Pretty Little Liars and Riverdale, and I am a huge fan of Pretty Little Liars, and I was a huge fan of Riverdale before it became absolutely ridiculous. So I feel like the end of this, or the second half of this, is going to be just as good as the first, and I'm going to love it. I'm finishing it today, actually, and I'm very excited because it comes out today, the 12th of November, so by the time you see this, it will be out, and you should go and pick up a copy if you have not already. Well, I'm saying that at halfway. I could hate it by the end. I then received this copy, and I'm not sure who it was from, so if it was from you, please let me know. But I received the first book, The Vampire Academy by Rochelle Mead, which is part of the Vampire Academy series. I have never read this. I never read it as a teenager, even though it was so up my alley, I just never did. I have not seen the film, never had any interest in the series before, but now I do. But my only worry is, as you can see, I started reading it, Vengaliathon started, so I'm 90 pages in. I know a lot of people say that they really enjoy their rereads of it, but it's only because they know it's trash, but they really love being back in the world. I'm a little bit worried that because I was never in this world when this was my kind of age range to read, I'm worried that I won't have the same connection and I won't enjoy it as much. But for now, 90 pages in, I'm not hooked. I'm not really enjoying it much at all. It was really hard to read those 90 pages, but I do not feel I've gotten in far enough to give it a real judgment yet. So I'm going to continue. I'm going to try even harder to love it, but I am well aware that because I didn't love it as a teenager, it's very likely not to be my thing. But we're gonna try. 13-year-old me or 14-year-old me would have eaten this up. So I'm trying to please her, you know, please the inner 14-year-old me. But thank you so much to whoever bought me that. Just please let me know if you see this, that it was you, because it just turned up at my door and I was like, thank you. And it didn't have any note and I was so sad. Next, I went and picked myself up a copy of Mystery in White, A Christmas Crime Story. This is by J. Jefferson Farjon, and it is one of the British Library Crime Classics collection. I only own 2 of these so far, but I do plan on collecting a bunch of them. The other one I have is Blood on the Tracks, and I'm reading it currently. Listen to the synopsis. I don't think I can explain it better than the synopsis does. You're going to be so intrigued. On Christmas Eve, heavy snowfall brings a train to a halt near the village of Hemmersby. Several passengers take shelter in a deserted country house where the fire has been lit and the table laid for tea. But no one is at home. Trapped together for Christmas, the passengers are seeking to unravel the secret of the empty house where a murder strikes in the midst. That sounds awesome. I really need to read this, and I'm planning on reading it for the Christmas Horror-a-thon, where you can read crime and thriller and stuff as well, as long as it's based at Christmas, so I'm saving this for that. Nothing better to get you in the Christmas mood than a murder mystery. Connor very kindly gifted me a book, and I cannot wait for you to see this. Are you ready? This is Cursed, which is written by Thomas Wheeler and illustrated by Frank Miller, because this is the illustrated version. Look at this. It's huge for a start, I did not realise. But it is obviously based on the Arthurian legend. You know the story of King Arthur pulling the sword out of the stone and that makes him worthy? Well, this is the same situation, but if a woman pulls it out, is she also granted her right to the throne? I don't know anything more, and nor do I want to know anything more. Feminist maybe retelling of Arthurian legend? Absolutely. And this copy, wait, is so unbelievably gorgeous. It has illustrations everywhere. And even in some pages it has like actual paintings, not paintings, what's it called? Photo evidence. Ooh, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. But I didn't realise it was as thick as it is. It's only 408 pages, but it is so thick. I want to read this before it comes out as the new Netflix TV show that is coming out. As you can clearly see that they're branded on this book and I hate it. I want to read it before I go into that and see what my opinions are, because I don't like watching TV shows or films and then reading the books. I much prefer to do it the other way around. So that is my plan. Look how stunning it is. I can't. Ugh. Next, Kate Adale from Twitter sent me Get a Life Chloe Brown, which is perfect because I was reading the ebook for my hyped romance vlog and now I can read the physical instead. I've heard a lot of hype about this one as a romance and how it's really cute. It's about Chloe Brown, who is a really good goody two-shoes. She does nothing wrong and then she decides that she wants to become a little bit more bad, live life to the edge. So she meets a bad man who's got like tattoos and rides a motorcycle, because you know that equally means a bad boy. And he helps her complete her bucket list of bad things that she would like to do. Or not bad, but like out of her usual standard lifestyle. Like I think one of them is like go camping or something. Like obviously that's not a bad thing, but it's just out of her standard comfort zone. I feared pretty much only good things about this, so hopefully that'll be the same for me. Very, very excited by it, and it's a floppy boy. I've only got 2 left. We've got this. The next book is Christmas Shopaholic by Sophie Kinsella. This was a gift from Kira, so thank you, Kira. I very much appreciate it. And the reason I really wanted this was because I saw it in Tesco and Jenny Colgan has blurbed in. I quite like her Christmas story, so I feel like she knows what she's talking about if she has read it and enjoyed it. I don't know everything about it and I don't want to. I just know that it is about a woman who is hosting Christmas for the first time, and you basically follow her while everything that could possibly go wrong goes wrong. I feel like we've all had our fair share of bad Christmas instances, and so here I'm ready to read it and just prepare myself for the chaos that will be this Christmas. And the final book that I have, I should technically be showing you 2 copies of because I have bought 2 copies, but the other one was a mistake. I'll tell you about it now. But that is A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. Also, yet again, don't know anything about this. I know it's based in Oxford and it's about witches, and that there's a TV series about it, but I've never seen the TV series, and it is a trilogy. I'm sorry, but I do not want to know anymore, so I'm not going to tell you anymore. But I do really want to read this, and I basically went on to Book Depository and I was looking for it, and they had 2 different copies and they were roughly the same price of like really expensive. And I spent £11, and what arrived was a mass market paperback, tiny copy of it, and I was like, oh, I've just spent what, £11 on that? I actually cannot believe that's what's arrived. I was in shock, and in the end I was like, oh, just forget it, just go and order the other one, which was annoying because this one was £12, so it means I've spent what, £23 on a copy of a book. I'm very mad about it, but it's fine, it's fine. At least this is like, it's a giant copy. Like, let me show you in comparison to the other one. It doesn't actually look that big in comparison, but it is, it's very big. But the reason I like this is because I want to annotate, I think, in this book. And I'd like a big boy for this, so we have a huge one. Plus, the UK copies are vile. I really don't like the cover. I don't know why I'm so offended by it, but it's red and I just don't like it at all. So I was like, I'm just gonna take the plunge. I should have bought all 3, but I thought for the price that they were, I would rather wait and see if I really loved this first one enough to want to keep the whole series, even if I decide to read it, or whether I'd rather just get it from the library or get the ugly copies for cheap and then give them to someone else. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. I just cannot believe that I can read it when they open like this. This is the best kind of book possible. This was still a really long video. I'm hoping I can edit this down. But that was all my books from the past couple of weeks. More than a couple, my last few weeks. And I am on a book buying ban now until Boxing Day. So I need to be saving money for other people's gifts. I cannot be buying myself any more books. And so instead, I'm just gonna wait until Boxing Day and go ham then. So I really hope you enjoyed probably the last vlog for a while, probably the last haul for a while, you know, as long as I stick to my ban. But thank you to everybody who bought me a gift that was shown in this video. I really, really appreciate it. You really don't have to spend your money on me. I will hopefully see you in the next video. Bye!